Hello and welcome to the first ever MLB DH Major League Highlight Show. I'm your host, SwollenMembers, alongside Lawyers and MacGyver. Tonight we're bringing you up-to-date information from this week's games and a special interview with one of the game's top players who will give us his predictions for the upcoming series. Let's get right into it. The National League West gave us our first upset of the series, starting with the Matchstick and Redbird matchup. Here's Lawyers with the breakdown.
Okay, Lawyers going to break down the highlights from Matchstick versus the Redbird, and great matchup with the Giants here. We go bottom of the third. Edgar Martinez goes deep, 422 feet, 1-0 Matchstick. Let's jettison to the top of the fifth inning. Redbird getting on the board. He's got runners at first and third. Oh, and a Mamba hit. Very nice. Gets on the board 1-1. 2-2 as we go to the top of the eighth. Benito Santiago. Don't throw it there because he hit it to left center. Big home run, 417 feet, 3-run homer, 5-2. We go to the top of the ninth inning, 6-4 Redbird. Nick Lowry on to close it for the Redbird. Rollins flies out weakly to left field, 1 out away. Brian Giles, the last hope for Matchstick, and will he be able to do it? 2 runs down, no. Ground out to third base. Redbird with the huge victory over Matchstick. Pretty close game, couple of crooked scores there in the eighth inning. Congratulations, Redbird. The rest of the NL West breaks down with the Dodgers and Fenwick. Big unit represents the D-backs. The Padres will get Bonsai Baron. And checked out with a 3-2 close win over Coast King will represent the Rockies. Switching now to the American League West, Ishray will take over the Angels. The Mariners will be Strikers. The Rangers will be Adjustable Arms, a 2-1 win over Walker, Texas Ranger. The Lights Out will take care of the Astros, and 24 Perp Kush Diet defeats John Deere Green to take the Oakland A's. Back to you, Swollen.
Thanks, Lawyers. We'll have to keep an eye on those West divisions. It looks like a tough race. Meanwhile, the AL Central has every team locked up. Let's take a look at the White Sox matchup. The veteran USC looked to keep his spot against the up-and-coming Southside Sox. This was a real pitcher's duel in this game, with both players getting a lot of strikeouts for their aces. See here as Southside's Brandon Webb catches USC looking for strike 3. Neither team could score all game. We go now into the 11th, tied at 0. With 1 out and a runner on first, Carlos Quentin hits a clutch single out to right center to move Carlos Lee over to third base. This brings up A.J. Przinsky with runners on first and third. On the very first pitch, surprisingly, USC pulls a double steal, and instead of keeping the ball at home, Southside throws it to the pitcher who throws it back home, but it's too late and USC wins it 1-0. So USC will represent the White Sox. Meanwhile, the Royals will be represented by Kenny Powers, the Tigers by MacGyver, the Indians by IV Deltas, and the Twins by Hugsman. Moving on to the NL Central, this division looks to be very tough, but with all the good matchups in this division, it was surprising to see the most exciting game would be for the Cincinnati Reds. Newcomer Bushmills was up against a longtime veteran Flint Tropics. Scoreless until the 6th inning, this game would end up being a slugfest. Bushmills would get things started here with a solo home run against Felix Hernandez, and the home runs would only keep coming. In that same inning, Flint Tropics would come back with a few homers of his own. Here with 2 outs, Jay Buhner kept things hot with a shot to left field, following a 2-run homer earlier. And the very next batter, Edgar Martinez, steps up. And he will hit a solo home run, putting Flint Tropics ahead, 4-1. These two teams kept on hitting home runs. Every single run in this game was scored off a home run. Skip up to the 8th inning. Bushmills making a comeback. Hits 2 back-to-back solo home runs. This one here by Joey Votto out to right field, followed by the catcher David Ross, and he will cut Flint Tropics' lead to only 1 run. Two batters later, with a man on first, Johnny Gomes hits a deep shot to left field, giving Bushmills his first lead since the 6th inning. Flint Tropics would tie it up, and into the 10th we go. With 1 out, Ichiro Suzuki steps up to the plate and would not disappoint. Walk-off home run by Ichiro. Flint Tropics wins it with a final score of 6-5. So Flint Tropics will be representing the Cincinnati Reds in division play. Minimum defeats Steel Champion 5-1. Blue Lightning falls to Chicago Cubs 1-0 after a 15-inning duel. STL Fan beats Arijojo 1-0, and Brew Crew Bombers represent the Brewers by default. Now let's go to MacGyver, who breaks down the East divisions for us. And that wraps up the NL Central. Now we're going to go over to MacGyver, who has a special report on both of the Eastern divisions, starting off with the great matchup of the Florida Marlins between SwollenMembers and You're in Trouble. Take it away, MacGyver.
Thank you, Swollen. Here we have a Marlins game. Yes, Marlins. How boring can we get? We have a scoreless game in the 6th inning when Matt Clement gives Cliff Floyd a present, an RBI triple. And then, Urine can't hit Joe B when he comes in to close the game, and we have a final of a regular Marlins game, 1-0. And there were a total of 5 fans in the stands. Okay, in NL East, Red Sox Bay takes the Met slot over the commission. Got Poop wins by forfeit to represent the Braves. Match It, aka Machete as he wants to be called, is the Phillies. He won the same way Got Poop did. And we have Fitzcarraldo by default. Also, in the AL East, Spooked over Break the Walls to represent the Red Sox. Lawyers beat the shit out of Corey's Yankees to take for the Yankee spot. Pujols finally beat his lag to represent the Blue Jays. And Cal Say Moo Ninja Terrorbird's account to represent the Orioles. Back to you, fuckers.
Thank you, MacGyver. Now we go to Lawyers, who has a special interview with one of the game's top players, Pujols.
Hi, this is Lawyers, and we are talking with Pujols. This is a new format tournament for MLB Dugout Heroes. What's your initial impressions of it?
Initially, I actually like the idea. I think it's very interesting. It's unique compared to anything else. I know a lot of people have said it might not be the fairest if you're in some divisions and not in the others, but I mean, look at real baseball, look at the Jays right now. I think they're in like 6th or 7th place overall, but yet they're not even in a playoff spot. So I think this is a great format.
How do you look at the other teams, especially in your division and throughout the tournament? Who jumps out at you as being really tough in this tournament?
Well, as far as my division goes, I think I'm in for it pretty tough. Everyone in my division is going to be pretty good. Especially there's a tech of meat pickers. Either way, whoever wins out of that match, they're going to be really tough to beat. It's really tough. I think it's the NL East with Machete, I believe, whichever one that one is, with the Phillies. And that one's going to be really tough as well. There's a lot of good teams, so I don't know, anything can happen in this tournament.
How's your team look right now, and is it well prepared for the tournament?
My team is actually only 4th year right now, so my team itself probably could be better, and other times has been better. I think it's alright. I mean, I have a really good team with lots of all-stars. Hopefully I can get the job done.
Okay, great. Well, thanks a lot, Pujols, and good luck.
Alright, and that does it for the first ever MLB DH Major League Highlight Show. Tune in next week where we'll have more highlights and another special interview with one of the game's top players. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.